Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I'll be there. Just call my name. I'll be there. Yeah, that's the bad falsetto. Welcome to Baywatch, Malibu Sunset. So yeah, we're back with Drop Dice. It is Thursday. I do not have everybody, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's do a one shot." And originally, I was like, I'm working on this game. It's called Xiaoyun. It's gonna be great. Here, let's play test this. And then I throw out, or we could get real weird and play Baywatch. So obviously, we decided to get real weird. So this is good because this is kind of a fun, quick introduction for these guys and anybody who's new to the channel or trying to learn a little bit more about ICRPG. These guys are brand new. Literally, they've barely looked at the book, as in like maybe the last 10 minutes. So this gives everybody a chance to kind of learn together. We'll walk through the rules. I gave them a quick rundown, but as they're building characters, I'll kind of mention some of this stuff as we go through as well. So I am Chris. I'd like to direct everybody's attention because I'm going to whore things out this week to Guns of Icarus Online. I work very diligently on that program, and I'd like you to definitely check out my cloud work. Oh, wait, no, that was Tom. Tom does cloud work.
And my cloud work, he doesn't mean stuff, he means literal clouds in the game.
Yeah.
He makes it so that it's in 3D, but it's actually 2D.
Yeah. He knows clouds, rain clouds. Clouds look like dogs.
I was gonna say, I kind of wonder sometimes if Tom definitely designs like images into the clouds just to see if players pick up. Like most of them are normal clouds, and there's one that does look like a banana, and they're like, maybe it does kind of look like a banana.
Only Tom will ever know.
Yeah.
He's been brainwashing everyone playing Guns of Icarus Online. Slowly but surely.
That's just make sure he dies. What? I didn't say anything.
So that's Tom. And then you guys know Jeremy and Brendan. This is going to be the cast for our game tonight. It's going to be a fairly short game, but I'll give everybody kind of the premise to our pilot episode, if you would, of the series. The year is 1996, and Malibu is a hotbed for drama and hotties. You're the last line of defense against any ocean-related crimes, an elite team of lifeguards. This new spinoff of the popular Baywatch franchise is focusing mainly on the Malibu beach area. Things are heating up in Malibu as the annual Queen of the Beach competition is attacked by a terrorist group intent on capturing the alluring C.J. Parker, played by Pamela Anderson, and other beach beauties. It's up to Malibu Baywatch team to save the day at a high-stakes rescue at sea. So that gives you guys an idea of what we're shooting for. Basically, the 90s drama that was just terrible in all the right ways. Let's just jump into character creation real quick here for you guys. If you have the second edition book, it starts on page 24. Did you guys all get the link for the fillable character sheet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's pretty easy. The first step is choose an image or think of an image. This could actually be like a physical image that you use. I'm not going to use any maps tonight. We're going to kind of do theater of the mind. This game does typically work a little better with maps, but I literally came up with this stuff at the last minute, so I don't have maps. We're just going to do it by theater of the mind. And then step 2 is dream a story, which is basically think about the background or concept of your characters, which we all pretty much have a good idea of. We're all lifeguards of some variety here. Do you guys have anything in particular like you want to shoot for? Like, are you going to be the new recruit lifeguard, the seasoned veteran, the transfer from a different department? Think about kind of those classic like alternate cop tropes.
I was trying to be an undercover PI.
Okay.
Because I knew about this terror. I heard rumblings about this terrorist attack, but nobody in my department would believe me. So this is me going off the cuff and join the lifeguards to look out for this group.
Okay, cool. So I believe, let me just double check the character sheet here. Is there a little slot that says story there? Just write in undercover cop. That way you can remember that that's kind of your trope that you're playing towards.
Yep.
How about Brendan or Tom? You guys got any ideas?
Brendan, go with the trust fund, baby.
No, can I be Quint from Jaws?
He's trying to be the salty old T-Dog kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you want to be like the old veteran that probably shouldn't even be on the beach anymore?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, I can dig that. So for your story,
he has a boat on the beach, and like, he's a salty old man.
Yeah, I would shorten it to like Old Salt. You're probably like the boat mechanic for the team. Okay, cool.
All right. I guess I'll round out the trio. I'll be the fresh face alpha personality fresh recruit who's like raring to go. She's really interested, and she teaches women's self-defense classes at the Y.
Did you say alpha personality?
Yes.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure I heard right for my own personal amusement.
Nice. So,
Amazing.
yeah, that brings up a point. Tom mentioned she, so I assume Tom's going to be playing a female character.
We need to have at least one.
I was going to say, there is no gender requirements for this game or anything, but that's nice. Cool. Play to it. Do you guys have an idea of what your genders are going to be for your characters? Just so
I already came up with a name, so I'm a guy.
Okay, cool. If you've got a name, what's your name for your character?
Kip Kowalski.
Kip Kowalski?
Yes.
Nice. That's a good 90s name.
Yes.
I identify as a tugboat.
We're in the early 90s. People didn't identify as tugboats yet.
That's in the far future. Sorry.
In the far future of the year 2000.
It's Tugboat Sully.
No one really knows if it's Sully his last name or his first name.
All right. And is Sully male or female? Just so I have an idea.
He is male.
Male.
He identifies as captain.
That's Captain Tugboat Sully.
Okay, and then we got Kip.
Kowalski.
Jeremy.
Very specific name.
Kowalski. Male. Jeremy. And Tom, your character's name?
Christine Anders.
Andrew. That's a good one. Female and Tom. Cool. All right, so the next bit here, also pretty easy mode. We're basically going to assign points. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what each of these points are. So you have your 6 stats, which should seem really familiar from D&D. Strength, Dex, Con, Intelligence, Wisdom, Charisma. There's really no big change as far as what those mean. But you do have some other stats that you can invest your points in. You're going to get a total of 6 points, and you can distribute them across any of these things. The other stats are armor, which for each point of armor that you put in, it's going to raise the 2-hit number for you. So think about this kind of like buying armor for D&D. It's investing in. The good thing about this is this could be your character having self-defense classes, like Tom was talking about. Maybe investing in armor is a good way to go. The other thing that you can invest into is effort. Effort's broken down by 4 different categories: basic work, weapons damage, magic effort, and ultimate effort. Basically, when you guys do stuff with your bare hands, no tools, that's going to be basic work. If you use tools, or let's say you guys get a weapon, this being Baywatch, there might be a gun in the scene, and it's probably going to be controlled by the bad guys until you take it away. That would be weapon damage. Magic effort, this is going to be rare if it comes up considering what the setting is. However, you may have something that, like, let's say you get an item that says that whenever you do basic work, you deal magic effort. That might come up during the game. The next thing is ultimate. Ultimate is kind of like magic effort. It's going to be a little bit rare, but when you roll a critical, you're going to add ultimate to your roll. So if you invest points in ultimate, your criticals are going to be even more critical because it's going to be a D12 plus whatever number of points you invest into it. This being mostly a mundane game, it's probably better for you guys, just as kind of a heads up, being new to the system, to invest more into your overall stats, your basic work, Maybe your weapons, because if you're using tools like a wrench to hit somebody, that's going to count as a weapon. And then your effort, of course. Or sorry, your armor, of course. So 6 points, you can put them anywhere. It's a 1-for-1 for everything.
Put this in, what is the base?
Yeah, inside those spaces for the character sheet, you just put a +1, +2. This is like buying modifiers, essentially. So like when you go to roll, like let's say you put 2 into your strength. When you go to roll strength, you're going to add 2 to it.
And what's our total number we can put into these again?
You have a total of 6 points that you can spread across.
Into the 6 stats?
The 6 stats, armor, and the effort types.
Okay, so that's spread pretty thin.
Yeah. Another thing that you guys can do is you can kind of workshop together to cover some bases. So if one of you wants to be more of like the intelligence type character, you could kind of build with that concept in mind. One of you wants to be like the strong guy. That could be another type of thing that you can kind of build towards. That way you guys have kind of like an archetype in mind of how each other are going to spend points and help balance your group.
I volunteer to take the charisma hit.
Well, Tom is obviously the charisma.
Yes.
Well, I guess I could also be the charisma, being an undercover cop.
I was also planning on being the frontline fighter. You know, like one of the first introductions of a strong female character.
Mm-hmm.
All right, La Femme Nikita.
So this being 1996, you definitely have to practice like something like judo, karate, like any of the mainstream martial arts.
I was
thinking
thinking
judo.
Or something absurdly obscure.
Completely fictional and made up for the series, yeah.
So he's going to take the charisma hit. So you know charisma.
Well, I mean, there's not going to be any negatives. It just means that he's not going to invest into charisma.
Yeah, I mean, like he's going to take that as he's not going to invest anything into it.
Yeah,
it would be good to have at least someone invest 1 into it. That's minimum.
I can invest 1.
I was thinking because I'm supposed to be the undercover cop. I want to put at least 1 into wisdom.
I was thinking wisdom as the vet.
Yeah. Well, actually, then if
and see the cool thing about this too is, especially when it comes to like your different stats here, how you explain the situation could determine what role you make. So, like if you explain that you're fighting dexterously, like you're using a rapier, for example, if we were playing like regular fantasy type of game, I would say, okay, a dex sounds appropriate because of the way you're describing your fighting style.
So yeah, I'm going to be putting 1 into dex because I want to be a crack shot when I do use the gun.
And you said basic work is for when you're using your hands to do something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But weapons would count for tools as well. So if you just wanted your character to carry around a wrench and clobber people with a wrench because you're the ship's mechanic, which I think is totally fitting, that'd be a weapon effort.
I also accept anchor.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to use a tool...
And like if you were to fix something, to give you an idea of how that's going to work, I would say, okay, it sounds like you're trying to fix this. It's going to be an intelligence roll, and you have to beat the target number. Once you beat the target number, okay, cool. You have tools on you, right? You go, yep, I got my bag right here. Okay, cool. You roll a weapon towards that heart that you need to fix this boat with.
Okay, so weapons is just whenever you use any sort of tool to add.
Yeah, anything that is slightly better than just your hands, basically.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. I put 1 into dex in wisdom. What about you, Tom?
I want 1 with charisma and strength. She's going to be surprisingly strong. Then again, in my mind, she's also like 6'4", so.
No. I'm okay with this. Did you not? Are you going to put anything in the con?
Also, in my mind, you are now Bridget Nielsen.
Nice.
No, like the other points, I put 2 into armor and 2 into basic work.
I'm gonna put 1 in a weapon because show that my training.
So far, I've got 1 in con, 1 in intelligence, 1 in wisdom. and 1 in each kind of work. I guess I'll put my last one in one of the 2 kinds of work.
I'm putting 1 in basic, 1 in weapon.
If you were to kind of plan ahead, I would suggest, like, if you're going to put it in one of the other 2, magic effort's probably going to be a little more rare than ultimate, because you can get critical, or when you roll criticals, you can get ultimate damage in addition to your normal.
So you would suggest going like ultimate instead of adding another one
Yeah.
into basic or weapon?
I mean, I would either go basic, weapons, or ultimate. I would probably stay away from magic, because your character just doesn't have like arcane spell casting.
Right.
All right. I'm putting 1 into dex, int, wisdom, and charisma, and 1 into weapon and basic. I'm trying to spread it. He doesn't have self-defense training. He just has, in the same sense as you would, which is why you would have that 1 armor.
I'm going to put the second point in basic work, just because I imagine maybe getting into a fist fight or 2.
Yeah, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I put 1 in.
So all of you are humans. I'm going to use the stats from Alfheim to make you a little bit more impressive than standard humans in this setting, which I feel like have no stat adjustments.
Because we're still...
You guys are lifeguards. You've completed elite lifeguard training. So I'm going to give you a +1 to con, because you guys are real good at holding your breath. I'm actually modifying these bioforms. And a +1 to weapon damage. That's going to be from your race. All of you get that.
Yes. Because we know how to use a life preserver.
Yeah, because weapons is going to be basically when you guys use tools. Like if you were to roll like an AED to resuscitate someone, you're getting a +1 to that, using life preservers, all sorts of stuff.
So, Chris, quick question. I mean, I see the fact that it says there's Alfheim classes. Are there actual classes we're working with, or?
No, we're kind of making it up as we go. If we played like the Alfheim setting, you would pick from those classes. And it was kind of like I told you guys to begin with. All the characters inside this game are kind of like paper dolls. Essentially, what makes you different from someone else is the type of equipment that you equip your character with.
So those are more or less archetypes that have gear and all that shit.
Picking a class inside this game basically guarantees you access to those specific items, because when you level up, it's called getting a milestone in here. You get to pick 1 item off of that list, or the GM assigns you 1 off that list. So, for example, the first one on the list there is the Guardian, if I remember right. I'm still scrolling there.
Something like
that. Here we go. It's the Guardian. You get starting gear, which is part of your class, and then you get, like, as you start playing, let's say, I go, okay, Jeremy, you've been a Guardian, you've done this really cool thing. Here's a milestone. Go ahead and pick one. You would pick one of those rewards off the list. And one of them's Battle Standard, which gives all allies fighting next to you 2 armor. And that's how characters advance. The other way that characters advance is they get items from the scenery around them. So when I describe a scene, if I give you things to interact with, like I say there's a bunch of barrels over there in the scene, if you guys interact with them, or either during like the combat or the chase scene or whatever we're doing, it may drop loot, and picking up that loot may give you different advantages.
Okay.
The first bit that we're going to do is decide what your starting loot is. So the way that I want you to think about this is like your signature item. Since we are not playing Alfheim characters, our starting loot, we can take inspiration from this list, but chances are none of you are going to have an amulet of secrets. Instead, you're going to have like a tugboat manual.
Pretty much same thing.
+1 intelligence. We'll just reskin these to make sense. They go inside your gear slot. They will be worn to give you the bonus. If they are not worn and they're inside your extra gear stuff, that means you don't get the bonus. So kind of like when you play a game online, you have to equip the armor to get the bonuses. So as you can tell, looking at the starter loot, it is, for the most part, +1 to a bunch of different things. However, there's stuff like weapons kit, which I would be fine us reflavoring that to be like toolkit or lifeguard kit, and giving a +2 to weapon effort, essentially.
Let's see.
The one that I think is actually going to work pretty great for us, I would change it from spyglass to binoculars, +3 wisdom when scouting. What I would say is just kind of look at what those bonuses are, and then we can dress them up however we think fits your character.
As I am the token female character, I should probably have a distinctive swimsuit. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with my gear being a V-style swimsuit with +1 to charisma.
Okay. It's the deep V single piece swimsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would say just write it inside your gear as like V swimsuit +1 charisma. Tom or Brendan, you guys, or not Tom or Brendan, Jeremy or Brendan, do you guys have any ideas of what you want?
I like the binoculars idea. I could also go with someone like what you suggested, like someone to make me better at taking care of my boat.
Mm-hmm.
Or would the boat itself be a loot item?
I don't want to make the boat itself one. There's different rules that cover boats, and we'll get to that point when we get to our high-speed boat scene. Because Jeremy made me promise that there's going to be a boat chase.
There better be a fucking boat chase.
I say high speed, but you guys have a tugboat, so it's probably going to be a low speed chase.
You can find another boat.
No, my name is Tugboat.
Oh, okay.
That's what people knew him for. But then he joined the lifeguards.
Okay.
And now we have a special lifeguard boat.
Yeah, it definitely the same level of ridiculous as normal Baywatch. So you guys have like a cigar boat for some reason.
You could have your badge, Jeremy.
That is very true, actually. So I've been trying to think about what I could do for that.
So when I first originally pitched this idea before it had to get pushed back, some of the ideas that people came up with for their like signature item was the little life preserver buoy that they carry around that's on the leash, the big noodle one, a surfboard, the swimsuit. One that I heard that was a joke was it's a bottle of hair gel, and your character's like constantly like slicking back their hair
to get charisma. Okay.
So I mean, it could really be pretty much anything we want it to. I mean, we could even go small and say that it's like a bracelet that your character has or something like that.
Actually, I do like the carrying my badge idea.
I think it fits your character really well.
I'm just trying to think what I can do. Well, actually, I thought of something, but I think it'd be too cheesy to do that. Give me +1 armor.
I think that's fine. And the way that we think about it, it's not like it's a physical piece of armor. It's more like you have additional cop training that makes you a little bit better.
Or he can get shot, and the only thing that saves him is the badge.
That's where I was going with it. It's just the super cheesy. Yeah. You can shoot me anywhere in my body, but somehow you shoot me in the one spot that I have.
If he ever avoids death by 1 point of damage, that's how we know it happened.
I feel like it's gonna be running gag where it happens once an episode.
Okay, I got an idea for what your item does. It's not 1 point of armor. Basically, it will turn 1 critical hit into a standard hit.
So basic
per session, yeah.
I'll take that. I like that.
Okay, cool.
Because that's amazing.
All right, Brendan, you got an idea now?
Yeah, I was either gonna go with the binoculars or just a toolkit for the +2 weapon effort.
Okay, yeah, So pick out one, and
yeah,
then
I'll do the toolkit.
okay, cool. So the toolkit. This one gives you +2 weapon effort. The next bit is equipment and weapons. Because of our setting, we're going to skip all that. As far as this goes, basically, when you guys have a tool with you, it's going to give you +3 to your roll when you use that skill. So, like, if you grab a life preserver on a rope and you throw that out there, I'd be like, okay, it's going to be a dex to get it out there, but because you're using life preserver, you're going to get a +3 to that roll.
Because
that's one thing.
In Baywatch, nobody carries around things they need. They just happen to find them all the time.
Exactly. So, and this is the kind of game that if I don't specifically say there's a life preserver in the scene, but you go, hey, we're by the beach shack, right? There's probably a life preserver. I'm going to grab one of those things and throw it out there. That's fine. The language I'm going to use whenever I tell you like a +3 or a -3 is going to be easy or hard. If it's easy, you're going to get a this target number that's up in the corner that says 12. You're going to get basically that target number will move. So an easy number will become a target number 9 instead, whereas a hard will become a 15. It's a 15% difference each direction whenever I do that.
Right.
In Xiaoyun, I take it a step further, and I have very easy and extreme, I think is what I called it.
I believe that's what you said, yeah.
But basically, that's a +6 -6 at that point to kind of give you an idea of how that's going to work. Because I have a feeling we'll probably play Xiaoyun in the future.
Well, it's your game.
Yep.
Why not?
But normally you would pick out weapons and items here. Weapons have tags associated with them, so do items that basically describe what they do. Like, for example, a dagger is concealed, fast, piercing, and thrown. That tells you how they can be used narratively, essentially. And some of them do convey certain bonuses. There's a weapons tag or weapon tags list there as well. So now that we've got our characters, we're pretty much ready to jump in. So we hear the theme song open up. It's not the classic Baywatch theme song. It's more of like a nightclub overlay of the traditional Baywatch theme song. Like, it starts the same, and then there's scenes of like flashing clubs and like music and steam shows. And then we get the first scene where it shows Kip Kowalski, who's busting into the club, and there's like a drug dealer who's thrown his arms up, and because it's 1996 in our TV series, it's actually like Jimmy's or like ice cream sprinkles, those little long ones. He's throwing those up in the air, but we're calling it something ridiculous like Jingle Jangle from Riverside or whatever that show is.
Jingle Jangles.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's got a ridiculous
Jingle Jangles now.
Yeah. It's got a ridiculous name inside the world. And we get this scene where Kip is like making an arrest on the dance floor, and then it shifts and it shows him out at the beach with like a fake mustache on. And it's
not a fake mustache. I grew it for my my disguise.
He's got a mustache and the Speedo on, and it says Kip Kowalski, played by Jeremy. And then like the scene kind of, yeah, this like he takes the joking pose at somebody else, and the scene shifts, and we see Christine Anders, who's at the YMCA teaching a class for ladies self-defense, and then she's grabbing her bag and running because she's almost late for her shift. She's about 2 blocks down, and somebody takes her purse. A moment later, her extremely long leg, being that she's like 6'4", just wheels around in this power like roundhouse into the back of the criminal's head, sending him sprawling. She grabs her bag and she runs back to the beach, and then we see her coming down the beach. Of course, being the only female inside the episode of the show so far, she gets the slow-mo moment where she's running to the beach house. And then this camera kind of like pushes back into the ocean, and we see this red cigar boat, and there's Tugboat Sully. What does Tugboat Sully look like? Because I got a pretty good idea on the others.
Oh, I just had a picture here. How do I upload a picture from my profile here? I have it.
I'm using XSplit, so I usually impose them on my end. Just kind of describe yourself. I imagine he's definitely got like a sea captain beard, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, some chops going on. He's got a fisherman's cap, button-up shirt, just completely undone, like hair going everywhere. Sort of a gray blonde hair, just wild, and his skin is pretty much leather from just being out on the deck of his boat for the entire day, every day.
Nice.
Just drinking a beer on the deck.
Nice. And there's like this moment where like Sully looks like he's been caught, and he kind of like freezes with the beer, and then he just kind of like shrugs and finishes the drink. And then our logo comes up, and it's that logo that we saw right at the beginning, that Baywatch Malibu sunset with the ICRPG sigil inside the sunset. The scene opens up, and we have a sign that says, "Welcome to the Queen of the Beach competition, 1996." And CJ Parker, who's played by Pamela Anderson, is out at the stage greeting different people. And I think the one that she's talking to kind of open us up is actually going to be Christine Anders. It definitely looks like the conversation was professional for a little bit. And then CJ kind of chuckles, and she says, "Well, you know, this competition is going to be pretty fierce this year. There's quite a bit of different people that I think might have a chance to beat me." And she kind of chuckles again, and she walks away. You guys got a report from I forget David Hasselhoff's character's name now. His character. Let's just leave it at that. I won't look it up real quick. You get a report from him earlier saying that there might be some terroristic or there might be someone planning something. He doesn't say it's terrorism, but Kip has been following the leads. Kip knows. The scene itself, I'm going to set the target number as 12, which is what you guys see on my screen right now. Whenever I set a scene, I basically am setting it up for a purpose. So we're going to have some interaction inside here. That's right, Mitch. That was his name. Mitch.
That's a great name.
Yeah, Mitch told you that there might be some trouble at the Queen of the Beach this year. And basically, now that I've set the scene, what I'm going to do is kind of describe the setup you guys are in. There's a beach house that's nearby. There's the competition, which is going on right in front of the Malibu surf. It's about midday. There's plenty of bystanders around. I think the person who's closest is probably going to be Christine. She's kind of like in the area where the competitors are. Sully is probably by the lifeguard shack, and so is Kip. There is a set of binoculars that you guys can definitely use inside the life house, plus like some tools and things like that if you guys want to take advantage of it. As far as like decoration on the beach, there's definitely like beach goers, so there's umbrellas, towels, coolers, things like that. The reason I'm describing these things is just so that you have an idea of what's in front of you, what you can use as we play. Mm-hmm. What happens to kind of start the episode off is that mugger we saw in the opening credits. He's got like a hoodie on. He's on the beach running, and he's got this black eye. That's how we recognize him from earlier. He comes running down the beach, and he throws off his coat. And you can see that there's, because this is the 90s, like Russian tattoos all over him, you know, because he's a gangster. And he grabs CJ, and he starts screaming and yelling, in obviously like a fake foreign accent. He's like, "Yous need to get out of here. This is I'm taking CJ. There's no more Queen of the Beach. Malibu belongs to the Purple Triads, okay? Get out of here. This is our turf."
I can't do this.
Purple Triads.
Well, because I think Christine always takes the direct approach. She's gonna like just Street walker's like, ugh, not again, you creep. Let her go.
Okay, so to start things off, I'm going to roll a timer. Basically, how timers work is in X amount of rounds, something is going to happen. And in each scene, my goal as the GM is to create threats, which is obviously this dude who's taken her hostage, and timers and treats, which I've given you some treats like the binoculars and the tools and stuff that are available to you. We will go in order of how I wrote your characters down here. So as you go through your turns, if you guys are having trouble with anything, feel free to ask me, but kind of play towards the narrative and you'll be pretty much cool to go. So first up is going to be Tugboat Sully. You hear Christine yell out.
All right. I think I would be out in the water on my boat keeping watch with some binoculars. So I guess I'll take a look around to see what's going on, like around, if there's maybe he has some help with them.
Yeah, there's this scumbag you recognize. He's part of the Purple Triads. He's grabbed CJ. His name is John Parker. And he's the one that's taken CJ, and he's yelling, and you're a little further back. You have some binoculars. If you want to get a better assessment of the situation, you can use your turn making like a wisdom check to scout out the area.
That sounds good.
Okay. This is going to be easy for you because you have the binoculars. So you need to beat a 9.
Okay. So I'm rolling what type of die for this?
This is going to be a D20 plus your wisdom modifiers if you have any.
Okay. And does this count as like a tool, like a weapon, or?
Don't worry about that.
Okay. We're
basically rolling against the target number. You're not going to be interacting with any hearts, so there's going to be no effort this time.
Okay. 11.
Okay. An 11 does beat it. So looking out there, you are able to see that there are a few more thugs coming towards the beach. There's about, let's see here, 6 of them coming. And you can see that a few of them are armed. They definitely have like sidearms with them, pistols. And they're moving down the beach. It looks like John Parker might have jumped the gun a little bit.
So he'll yell out to the beach, "Ahoy! More rapscallions!" And he's going to punch the throttle on the boat and head into shore.
Okay. Next up is going to be Kip Kowalski. You can see that there are... that the people that are running in now that he's pointing them out, they're on the far side of where you are. So to give you an idea, distance is measured in the idea of, is it near to me, far to me, or close to me? So think of it like range bands.
Okay. You said they're far away.
Yeah, they're far away. So if you wanted to get to them, it would be your whole turn to get to them, and then you would not be able to do anything.
Yeah.
But
okay.
You could go near and get where the contestants are and maybe help them out.
All right. And you said that he's holding her hostage with like a gun or something, right?
No, not with a weapon. He's just like grabbed her up in like a full Nelson, and he's trying to drag her away.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get near. I'm gonna start having the contestants back up. Because I don't want them to get hurt.
Okay, so you're gonna like control the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That sounds like you will be rolling a charisma check against that target number of 12.
Okay. It's charisma, D20 plus.
And since you know that the number is 12, you can narrate how it happens, whether it's good or bad.
All right. All right. So I rolled an 18.
Cool.
As I get near, the rest of the contestants, I'm gonna tell them to get off the stage and away from the perp. Making sure to direct them in a way that they're going away from where the other people are coming in. I'm
so
trying
probably like directed them towards the lifeguard house there.
Yeah. That way I'm trying to get myself in between everybody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep the perps focus on me and not the rest of contestants in case, I don't know, they're going after everybody, because as of right now, they're just CJ, but it could be everybody as well.
Yeah, and like we get that motion shot where the camera pans back and we see the women like running down the beach, and it's like not quite slow-mo, but it's definitely been slowed down because this is Baywatch, as they run across the beach towards the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they all like are tucking behind like the beach, the lifeguard house. And then the camera like quickly pivots over to Christine, who was like mid-action as she yelled, and we're coming in towards her, like moving in. Christine, the John Parker, the criminal there, he's about a near distance from you. You could move towards him and try to engage, but he does have CJ, so you know that she might cause problems for that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What I want to do is basically challenge the size of his manhood to get him to attack me instead.
Okay.
So, let's see. How do I phrase this?
Think you're a big man?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like,
Couldn't even handle me.
Ah, dang it. I'll phrase this. So what? I wasn't enough and you needed more? Please, you can barely even handle me. Unless you want to pick on me again.
Okay. So give me a charisma.
Okay.
And I think that because you're trying to do like a mental assault against him, I don't think that him holding her is going to interfere. So we're going to keep the target number where it is.
Okay. Uh, 10, 12.
Okay. So with a 12, you are definitely, you beat the target number. He kind of like growls and he throws Christine free, and she hits the dirt. You can hear her kind of yelp out, and she grabs her ankle, and he's taking like this, what's the best way to describe it? Bad TV bad guy stance, where he's like got his arms out like he's a gorilla and he's gonna fight you, but it's like just a really terrible stance for real world fighting.
Christine takes the most stereotypical karate stance, like knife hands out.
Aw.
Nice. It is now the bad guy's turn. During the GM's turn, I'm gonna move my timer forward. So my timers, I can either let you know how many turns are left, or I can keep them hidden. I've chosen to let you guys know. I rolled a 3 originally, so it's moving to a 2. And then John Parker is going to move in and take like a really wide gorilla swing at you, which you are very easily able to avoid. And he takes that second swing to follow it up. And again, it's just this quick avoid. But you can see that if he was to make contact, he'd probably do a decent amount of damage. The other purple triads are running down the beach, looking to join their friends and try and salvage the situation that John has messed up. Tugboat Sully, it's your turn.
Have I gone to shore yet?
Yeah, I think you could have made it to shore.
I'm going to wave to CJ to get over to the boat so I can drive her away from these guys.
Yeah, as you kind of like wave over to her, you notice that that she's either dislocated or injured her ankle, so she's not going to be going anywhere without some help.
Okay, I'll run out to her.
Okay, cool.
Do I get slow-mo?
Yeah, I was gonna say she's actually near you, but I'm gonna enact a setting rule that I'm gonna put in place here. It's gonna cost you a far movement because you're gonna slow mo to her. So it's your entire turn is just moving to her. Next up is going to be Kip Kowalski.
All right. Now that the contestants have cleared out, I'm only assuming that the crowd has dispersed a bit because, there's a situation they don't want to get involved. And I see Christine, fighting this big guy, John.
Mm-hmm.
And I see CJ running to the boat. And the rest of the the triads are on their way.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to, while John is distracted by Christine, I'm going to try to come up behind him and trip him, because we don't have time for this because there's a bunch of people coming our way, and I can't let Christine get caught up in this as well.
Yeah,
we all need to get to the boat.
Cool.
Soon.
Yeah, and this is like traditional Baywatch, so you guys can actually have handcuffs. That's just gonna be like an item that if you guys go, I pull out handcuffs, I'm not gonna question it.
Okay.
So
then I'm trying to get behind him,
if you want to trip him this turn, I definitely think you can. And once he's on the ground, whoever is next, which would be Christine, if you wanted to like come in and handcuff him, like you guys could definitely do that sort of thing.
That's actually essentially what I'm trying to stop him.
Cool. To trip him is going to be probably strength, because I have a feeling you're just kind of like overpowering him. Does that sound right?
No, I would try to, because like I said, I'm trying to come behind him because he's facing her. So I'm trying to essentially kick his knees in so he falls down that way. So I'm trying to use a bit of a dex towards it. I want to catch him off guard.
Okay, yeah. I think we get this like flashback to Christine teaching Kip how to throw someone. And then like there's this cheesy, like almost stop motion effect as you go to throw the bad guy, and it's like as he falls, the way that Christine taught you.
All right. I rolled 15.
All right, cool. What I want you to do is do some basic effort, but I want you to roll ultimate because we described it cool.
So roll the ultimate instead of the basic?
You're going to do both. You're going to roll the basic D4 plus a D12, and then you're going to add those two.
Nice. So 4, I rolled a 4, plus 1, so that's 5.
Okay.
Plus I rolled 8 on the ultimate, so that's 12.
All right. So with 12, you're going to beat John Parker's one heart. He's going to hit the ground, and he's basically going to submit at this point. He's like conscious. He's not dead. You guys didn't like kill him.
No, of course we don't kill. Come on.
But he's like Pokemon defeated, if you will.
Yeah. Stop, criminal scum.
Yeah. He hits the dirt. You get your line of stops, criminal scum, as you go in. If you guys don't do something about him soon, he will try to get back up and run away. But Christine, this is your opportunity to slap some cuffs on John.
Yeah, it's probably the best option. It's like I put the cuffs on. It's like, shame. I could have given you a second black eye.
You still can.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to say that probably will take up your whole turn. The purple triads further on the beach, I think you're going to turn back while they are armed. There's 3 of you now on the beach, and they just lost one of their important players. So I'm going to remove my timer that I have because they're going to turn around, and they're going to steal one of the lifeguard ATVs, and they're going to start driving away. Which you guys can handle this any way you want. If you want to turn this into an ATV chase, we can do that.
So hold on, I got this, guys. Hold on. Christine, knock him out. Knock him out. We'll come back for him later. They're taking one of our ATCs. Sully, let's chase after him. I want to get into the boat and chase after them.
Nice.
Yes, I want to do a sea to land.
Sea chase. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right.
All right, cool. I am going to raise the target number because we are now shifting into a new scene. I think Christine's definitely able to knock him out. Once she knocks him out, she's going to notice that something fell out of his sweatshirt pocket. It's a piece of loot. What it is it's actually two things that fell out. A bottle of Mountain Dew, which if drank gives you 5 hit points back.
Okay.
Bad placement, you know. We gotta pay for this show somehow.
We couldn't afford the Coca-Cola placement.
Yeah. And then the second thing that falls out is a GPS tracker. What it does is it gives you a +1 to wisdom when it's equipped. It's like one of those clunky early 90s GPS trackers too, so it's like
the little
giant.
The giant thing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's state-of-the-art technology.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of weird how this random street tough got his hands on this.
Exactly.
So I guess I'll take these things, and I suppose I'll call the cops. Is that how this works?
The show.
Chris?
Hand them off to like another lifeguard because there's definitely like background lifeguards.
Okay.
That basically will take ownership of him.
That's why I said just.
Are you going to join? Are you going to join them in the boat, or are you going to chase separately on your own ATV or something like that?
I didn't even consider a secondary ATV.
I'll take the ATV.
I just wanted the boat chase.
No, they can always drive away from the shore.
No, now you say that. But watch. Fine.
Cool. So
they'll have to go over a bridge eventually.
We're going to use a couple of mechanics here. Let me make some quick notes here.
You're welcome, Chris.
So the way that vehicles work is they have chunks, and chunks basically correlate to like bits of the vehicle. Since an ATV is basically an engine with 4 wheels, each ATV is going to have 1 chunk. So they have 2 ATVs, and then Christine is on her own.
She always was the best at driving those.
And then the boat, I think, because it's a cigar boat, it's probably got 2 chunks. Chunks are basically the same thing as hearts. It's 10 hit points, but it's for vehicles. That's going to be cigar boat. Okay. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to make a tug of war type tracker on my end. And what we're going to do is, if you guys line up on the same number, that means that you have caught up to them. So this is how Savage Worlds does chase mechanics like this. And it just happens to be very easy, so I'm going to use it. So to give you an idea, there is basically 6 spots between you and them. However, Christine is going to be a little bit behind, so Christine actually has 7. And if you guys move towards them through a series of like skill checks, that's going to move you closer to them. If they fail things, it's going to move them further back. However, if they succeed, it's going to keep them ahead.
Okay.
So, and this could be stuff like narrating that because you're chasing them, I could narrate that they go through like a dense tree shrubby area, and that's how they kind of get Christine knocked back, and that I'll make an attack against Christine essentially. You can basically impose terrain against each other or environment stuff, or you can make actual attacks against each other. So if they turn around and shoot the boat's chunks will be damaged and it will lose hit points essentially. So easy enough. So I think that the scene here is going to actually be a 14. A little bit harder to get this stuff done because we are in a chase scene. And the camera will actually follow Christine to her ATV, and she revs up and she drives into the camera, and then the camera, like, it's that splash moment where, like, it comes in and then it comes back out, and we see the purple triads on a couple ATVs. There's 3 of them, 2 on one ATV, 1 on the other, and they're shouting, "Ah, they got John! We got to get out of here! This is crazy!" And then they go crashing through, like, a bunch of pedestrians on the beach. Like, umbrellas are flying everywhere. One of the ATVs, like, skids up a beach blanket behind it, and there's this huge dust cloud. Out behind the dust, we see the cigar boat pulling up quick alongside the beach. So we're going to start off with Tugboat Sully.
Okay, so I'm making a skill check here to catch up with them, right?
Yeah, you could make, like, a skill check and tell me what you want to do. Like, let's do it this way. Tell me narratively what you want to do in the scene and how you want to push us forward, and then I'll tell you how we're going to do it mechanically.
Okay. Trying to think of what else I can do besides just try to race up alongside them.
I mean, that's fair. You've got a lot of ground to cover because you are behind.
Yeah, I'm just going full throttle.
Okay, cool. For full throttle, let me pull this real quick here, because there actually is some cool rules about that stuff. Let me see if I can find where this, because there's actually an encounter that would be very useful for me to look at for reference. 148. I looked at this before I started. I forgot that inside the core book, one of the example encounters is actually a race. Here we go. Okay, cool. All right, so that gives me an idea of what to do here. All right, so you're going to be moving the doing pedal to the metal. Let's do dexterity. Probably sounds like a good way, because it's piloting a ship. That's usually what piloting is underneath.
Yeah. Okay. Do I add anything to that?
You roll dexterity. If you have anything that's added to it that if you invested your points, then you'll get a bonus there.
Okay. 10.
Okay. With a 10, unfortunately, that doesn't meet the number. So you're going to start falling back. Which, let me adjust you real quick here. And then I need another D12. Because this will help me out. So you kind of you're trying to guide the cigar boat, and it is designed to be fairly close to the shore, but unfortunately you're getting to a patch of the beach that's a little bit rough, and you know where, like, a bunch of rocks are around here, and you have to slow your speed down a little bit because of where you are. Next up is Kip.
Yep. So I understand that the way you explained that as we roll, we can. It's not just what we can do, but how we can also add to the environment to help slow them down. I want to see if we if something to slow them down. would be to, as they're driving along the beach, trying to escape, they're not paying attention to what's going on the beach, and they start. There's like a an annual sandcastle competition going on, so they have to run through all. They have to try to drive through all the sandcastles, and it's slowing them down.
Nice. So we see the purple triads running their ATVs, and the first one hits this like giant fish type sandcastle, where like there's a person with a shovel like patiently carving in scales, and then all of a sudden the ATV goes jumping up. Give me, let's see, give me like an intelligence. I'm gonna say that's probably how we'll add to the scenes.
19.
Awesome. With a 19, that does beat the target number of 14. So do me a favor. This is kind of an attack, so I want you to do me some damage.
Sure.
This is going to be basic.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's going to be a weapon because we're using the environment as a weapon.
No problem. Weapon damage it is. All right, so that's going to be 7 damage.
All right. I think with 7 damage, because that pretty much halfway takes out one of the chunks, it's almost completely gone. This is the ATV that had 2 on it. And as the ATV sails up, the second guy who was on the back falls into the sandcastle. And we get this scene where the guy who is patiently carving scales into this fish is like hitting him with a plastic shovel. Next up is going to be Christine. As you approach closer, you can see the sandcastle. You see the guy that's on the ground being subdued by the civilian.
Are there others still getting away?
Yeah, there's 2 ATVs that are moving forward with the last 2 purple triads.
Is there a ramp?
Yeah, because it's cool.
Yeah. So,
like, maybe it's not like a ramp. There's like a table that's kind of cattywanked.
So I'm gonna say that this table's just positioned to like cut them off at the bend or get me some time. So I'm gonna go ramping off this thing.
Okay, cool. I think that could be a couple stats. What do you want to roll?
What would that?
I think you could do charisma for this because this is a cool moment.
Okay, sure. I'll do charisma.
Okay,
My
cool.
long red hair flowing out behind me as I sail through the air.
I like how we're getting these little bits of details from Tom.
Look, these screenshots are important.
They are.
Point is, I can be airbrushed under the side of a van. That means I'm doing good.
Nice. All right. What I want you to do is roll to beat the target number. You are using something to your advantage, so I'm going to say it's going to be easy. So you're shooting for an 11.
Oh, okay. 12 on the die.
All right. Excellent. You're going to do some basic effort and some ultimate because you did something cool and thought of something to add to the scene.
All right. I'm sorry, could you go over that again?
Yeah, so your basic is going to be the D4, and then you'll also roll ultimate, which is a D12, and then you'll add all that together.
All right. Total of 10.
All right. So with the 10, you are able to take out one of the ATVs completely. This is the guy that was by himself before. Basically, when you come down and land, you like whip your ATV sideways. His like hits the back end of your ATV and it throws him over. And we see him get like planted into like one of these sand castles. It's like a full-blown castle, like European castle, and his head is like sticking out of where the drawbridge would drop down. And he like goes unconscious. Next up is going to be them. They are going to make an attempt to get the bell back. So let me tick them over. They, the last guy like revs on the ATV, and the camera shines in on his gas gauge, and you can see the needle dropping closer and closer to E as he revs up. But it doesn't seem like he's covering any more ground. Basically, he fell behind because of a poor roll. So, all right, cigar boat. I forgot to mention it last time. You do get easy against the target number because you are using the cigar boat, which is fast as hell. But your number last time would not have taken you to 14. So,
all right. So, as you slow down, so we're sort of chasing along the beach here, and he doesn't realize it, but we're sort of following him into a little bit of a, I don't know the word for it. Are
you talking about like a jetty where the rocks crop up?
Yeah, pretty much. So he'll be like surrounded by water, and we sort of get around him with the boat on the other side.
Yeah.
So he gets so he'll like run into like a sort of a dead end where he has to turn back around, and right when he gets there, just we sort of swoop in around that way, so he's cut off.
Yeah, so like to set the scene, there's like a jetty that sticks out, or maybe a sandbar, something like that.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of like an inlet right before the sandbar. So like you're chasing him to the bar, and you know that he's going to have to turn around because there's too many rocks over there, and he can't get the vertical lift to get the ATV up. He goes up and he starts to wheel it back around. Go ahead and give me your roll. I think this is probably going to be an intelligence because you're definitely using the environment to your advantage.
Cool. 17.
Awesome. With a 17, you will beat the target number. So you pull into this little inlet here. Describe how you cut him off and give me some effort. This is going to be weapon effort, so a D6. If you get more than 3, you're going to take him out.
If not, I got this. I know what I'm going to do.
Throw a buoy.
So, so right before I hit the inlet, I'm going to punch the gas, and I'm actually going to jump a little bit and sort of skid into the shallow water. So I'm sort of coasting along the sand, just sort of drifting that way and cutting right in front of him.
Okay.
So what do I roll for this again?
It's going to be weapon effort.
So that's a... What type of die for that?
A D6.
Okay. That is 4.
Awesome. So with a 4, that does take him out.
Damn.
He is crumpled and arrested. The scene shifts over, and we see all these guys being taken in by Malibu PD and booked for questioning.
All right.
CJ has broken her ankle, and you guys have saved the day as far as the Queen of the Beach contest is concerned, at least so far. We're going to take a quick break because I am thirsty as hell and did not bring myself some water. So in like 5 minutes, we'll come back.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right.
So, Brendan, if you did not finish, I was going to use your attempt at trying to corner them with the boat. And during the middle of your skidding, I was planning to try to jump off and tackle him off the ATV.
That's what I was hoping for.
But you I was pissed because you knocked him out first. I was like, God damn it! I wanted it to be like that, and like, and just say one cheesy one-liner.
We'll say that's how it happened.
No, but that's not how it happened. You guys like my sandcastle competition idea, right?
Yeah,
it worked out pretty well.
Well, because he said like because we could do things by adding to the environment to try to slow him down too. It's like that makes this so much better. because I was trying to think of different things. Like one of my ideas was originally was when we did the boat chase was to have them go.
We got half a boat chase.
It's still.
There was a boat involved.
I involved the boat because I said I would. I said that there must be a boat chase involved. We can still have a proper boat chase, but a boat chase was given. And
like any stupid 90s TV show villain, he decided to drive along the coast.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's why I wanted to use like the cheesy. Well, anytime during a chase, shit like that always happens where they run into this dumbest thing. Either we got slowed down by it or they got slowed down by it. Either way, it would have made the scene way better. I just didn't think sandcastle competition would actually work that well. I just figured it would slow them down. I didn't think it would like nearly take down the both of them.
Back in a sec. Go to the bathroom. Whoop.
Okay.
So, Chris, I don't know if you figured it out. My original idea for it was to take down the last ATV was while Brendan did his little skidding, I would plan to jump off the boat and tackle him off his ATV and give him a really cheesy one-liner.
Nice.
Like, you have the right to remain silent. And other stupid little things. I should let you know, I'm essentially trying to play him up like Johnny Utah from Point Break.
That's pretty good.
I figure that's the best inspiration,
This has been the weirdest ICRPG session I've ever run, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it, so this is cool.
Also, I'm confused why Brendan put Owen Wilson in the...
Chris's voice that he did.
The bad guys?
Yes, it was Owen Wilson.
all I was thinking is, why
John Parker is a young Owen Wilson.
Yeah. All I was thinking was like, why is there essentially like, cheesy New Yorkers in New York, mobsters in Miami? Why the fuck not?
All right, so our TV show goes to commercial break. We see a commercial for moon boots. Let's see what else. Some GAC. That was another good product. And then there's like a classic 90s Janet Jackson Coca-Cola commercial.
No, and we have what is it? The Pepsi commercials with that little girl who drinks
immediately
Pepsi.
After is the Pepsi commercial with the little girl.
Yeah.
And OxyClean.
No, this is OxyClean wasn't around then.
I was going to say 96.
I remember it was a little kid.
No,
I think it was 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember your 90s things at all.
So, coming back from commercial, we get to see this scene where the Purple Triads are on an old, shipping freighter.
Yes, thank you.
And they're
keeping the boats.
They've got a bunch of dynamite or some sort of like other explosive device that they're working on.
It doesn't matter. It's some kind of explosive device.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of people in their underwear working on some jingle jangle, which again is just sprinkles. They're like putting it in little bags and stuff. They got masks on. It's definitely like the classic bad guy drug ring area. And we get introduced to this other person. His name is let's see here. What's a good name?
Do you need good villain name?
Give me a good 90s villain name.
It has to be
Lars.
No. I like Lars. Lars Jorgensen.
Jorgensen, huh?
Yes. It always has to be some kind of Russian bad guy. Russian, Polish, that like Eastern European bad guy.
Yeah, and there's excuse me. There's another one of these purple triads, and he comes up and he goes, Mr. Jorgensen, that Johnny screwed up the whole thing. Johnny and the other purple triads, they got picked up. We're gonna be late on the deal, and we didn't get CJ for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Jorgensen. And Mr. Jorgensen gets up behind a desk, and he's wearing a purple suit with a black button-up shirt and a purple tie, like wingtip shoes that match as well. He's got like very thin blonde hair that's been pulled back into a really tight ponytail.
Yes.
And he gets up and kind of like stretches out his neck. Zachary, I thought I told you, don't come to me with bad news. And Lars claps his hands, and you see a couple of thugs come forward that are matched in like the purple getup that Lars Jorgensen has, and they grab Zachary by each arm, and as he's getting dragged off, he's like, oh, I didn't mean it, Mr. Jorgensen. And he screams in the background. Jorgensen turns around and he looks at a pen board that he has inside his office, what used to be the captain's quarters on this this shipping freighter. I need CJ to complete this task. With her, I can get what I'm asking for. Malibu will be mine. And you can see this evil plan laid out on the cork board that basically he is using the drugs to basically push for a fish conservation effort. He is an eco-terrorist.
Of course he is. This is Baywatch.
And he wants to get CJ to be the spokesperson to draw people to his plight of saving green algae off the Malibu coast. The scene shifts over to CJ, who's got a cast on, and she's sitting inside the lifeguard house on number 32 by herself. Mitch is also in the scene. He's further down the beach. It seems like she was coming to visit with Mitch. And we see these same gentlemen that dragged off Zachary come grab her, and they pull her out to a small boat that's been beached, and they pull her out to sea, and we can hear her screaming, and as they cut through the waves, heading out to the shipping container. Then it breaks over to you guys, and I think you're off duty now. The Queen of the Beach went well. CJ couldn't compete because of her injury and having to go to the doctor. A woman named Linda Sparks was the one who won. It's now towards the evening. You're kind of inside the beach house that the lifeguards all rented together this summer, and you hear a knock at the door.
All right. Go ahead.
I'll go answer it.
All right.
There's Mitch with his salt and pepper hair at the door waiting for you. Christine, I need anybody that you can get. CJ's missing.
What? Really? Who? How? What happened?
I don't know. I stepped away to help a woman with getting her gear off the beach. When I turned around, she was gone. I saw the boat I saw a small boat leaving, but I don't know where they headed. My ship's being repaired. I can point us in the right direction, but we need to get in the water.
Off in the distance, you hear Sully banging away at the boat. Dang nabbit, all this goddamn green algae gunking up the works. Damn it all to hell.
I can't. I'm in the background making cocktails for everybody because we're trying. I'm trying to celebrate a good day.
Mhm.
Because of course I'm an amateur bartender as well.
I mean, I'll gather up the gang.
Okay. So, yeah, you gather everybody up. I think the next scene, because we're going to just jump right to where the action is. We're not going to do too much filler stuffs. It's going to be you speeding along, and like Mitch is like standing up on the boat, like pointing where to go, like he's George Washington on the Delaware. And we see that your boat approaching the shipping container, or the shipment, the transport ship. There we go. And the way this will work, let me grab some dice here. You guys open up and into the deck of the ship. You're able to get on without much trouble. There's a hatch that leads below, but it's kind of a maze down here. So let's see here. There's a straight hallway that juts off to the left. And then there's a bulkhead that has been you guys know what a bulkhead is?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay. The bulkhead is the wall inside of a ship, just to kind of give you an idea.
All right.
You can tell that there, Sully's the one that'll pick it up, that there's some fresh weld marks on here. It looks like there might have been some repairs done to this wall recently. There's also a path that shoots off to the left.
Sully.
What?
You gonna mention the
No. Oh, I thought that was just information that was just being exposited in the course of the show.
Nope.
I'm just letting you know.
They've been working on this boat recently.
What do you think they've been up to?
He's going to give a long, thoughtful stare. I don't know.
Dang.
That's fair.
If you don't know, then nobody will know.
Sully, looking it over, you have the tools with, because like you have a bag of tools that you took with you off the ship. You could cut through this wall. They didn't use the same grade of steel. It's not a very good job, and you can hear that there's something going on behind the wall.
All right, that sounds good. He's going to go rummaging into his big old bag of tools, and because this is a 90s show, he's not going to bring out an actual practical tool for. He's going to bring out like a blowtorch.
Yeah. It's like
and solder his way through the bulkhead.
Yeah. If you know anything about welding, it doesn't make any sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. According to the show.
Yep.
All right, Silly. Hurry up. I want to be back. I want to be back by bedtime.
You don't stop yammering, I'll put you to bed. And so I'm making a weapon roll against this. Right?
Yeah, you are. The target number here is going to be 10, but you can succeed. There's nothing that's really stopping you, so I just need the effort.
Okay, so that's a D6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's 3 plus my 2 plus my 2 from the kit.
Yep.
Right, so 6.
Okay.
Or no, I said 3. Yeah, so it's 7, actually.
All right. So with a 7, you begin cutting through. It's not going to take much more work, but you can hear people scrambling on the other side. There's definitely people on the other side of this wall, and they've picked up on the fact that you are coming through.
All right, everybody, right, and get ready for the breach. I figure this is a good time to pull out the one little 357 Magnum I have.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm almost through. Be careful to cover your. And then the wall's just immediately going to fall over in mid-sentence with a loud clang.
Yeah, and it opens up to the drug manufacturing room. There's just like a bunch of people in their underwear and little like gauze masks freaking out. Sprinkles are flying everywhere. And you see that what they were doing is they sealed up this doorway because it leads out. People are trying to run past you to get out of the ship because they're being held against their will. But inside this room, there is another doorway on the far end.
So there's nobody in this room showing any clear harm towards us?
No, not at the moment, but that door was loud as hell, so people are probably coming.
All right.
By probably coming means that I rolled a timer when that thing hit the ground.
All right, I'm gonna run in and get ready for the door, and just like it's probably just a small door that where they would come in. I just want to get put my back against the wall and get ready for anybody that runs in.
Yeah, and are you guys just gonna wait for somebody to show up? Because there definitely are people showing up.
Yeah, we have to get. I mean, unless someone else does something, like I said, I'm going to put my back to the door and wait for someone to come in.
Okay.
Because that's what my cop training tells me to do.
Pretty much. Like, my plan is to find the first person I can and interrogate them at the location of CJ.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing as soon as someone comes around the corner. Is since I'm standing right there in the middle of the doorway, I imagine someone
torch somebody in the face.
Comes around and he's got some distance on me, so I'm just. Hey, how's it going? Here, Dutch. And I toss him the on blowtorch, and he just, well, what do I do with this?
Nice. Okay. So are you posted up towards the hole that you created, or are you near the door?
I'm still at the hole I created.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's gonna be the first area where people start coming. You see 2 guys. One of them's got like a small like hand machine gun. Like a pistol with an extra handle on it is what it is. And then the other guy who's coming, he's got like a lead pipe with him, and they see you and you're like, what's going on here? Give me a let's see, man, you could use like dexterity because you're throwing it, or charisma because you're lying about what's going on here. How do you want to make an attempt on this? What do you want to use?
Remember, you can argue for any stat. You just got to prove
I think right now you definitely can argue for a few stats.
Dex works for me.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Dex roll is 12.
All right, so with a 12, you're able to beat that. I'm sorry, I forgot to put the target number up. The target number is now 12 because you guys are actually engaging in stuff. You were able to beat the room's target number of 12. What I want you to do is give me some weapon damage, because the torch is going to ignite the guy with the pipe, because he would have been the one to try and catch it.
Eight.
God damn. Okay. Yeah, he lights up on fire and starts like screaming as like his clothes are catching on fire, and he's trying to put it out. And then the other guy with the machine gun is he's gonna try and take shots on you because they're here for a reason. He takes some shots and then remembers it's a bad idea to shoot in a ship. As bullets go ricocheting like in every direction, they don't hit you, but it's just a mess in there.
Of course, they don't hit us.
It is Kip Kowalski's turn. They're coming in through the other side.
So they're coming in through the door?
No, they're coming in through the hole that you guys cut in the wall.
Okay.
But the door in front of you, chances are somebody's going to come through there too.
All right. So I'm going to stay in my position at where I'm next to the door. And I can see at least the one guy trying to shoot at Sully there.
Yep.
I'm going to shoot at him, but I'm not trying to kill him or hurt him or even hit him, even though that's what I'm actually like. I'm trying to shoot his gun away from him.
Okay.
I'm trying to make this cheesy we shoot but doesn't actually hit anybody.
Yep.
But still does what it needs to do kind of thing.
Yep. I gotcha.
But yeah, so I'm trying to shoot it. I'm trying to disarm him by shooting his gun.
Okay, cool. Give me a dexterity.
That's an 18.
That definitely beats the target number.
So yeah, I'm literally just trying to shoot the gun out of his hand.
That's fine. I do need you to give me some weapon effort though, because basically moving forward, anything that you do will, because the type of game that we're playing, it's going to cause him to become less and less of a threat until he's incapacitated.
Okay. So weapon, no problem. Yeah. That's going to be 5.
All right, cool. So with a 5, you shoot the gun out of his hands, and you hear it go clattering to the floor a few steps away. He kind of like grabs at his hands, like the impact jarred him.
Yeah.
And then next is going to be Christine.
Are there any dangling chains in the shipboard?
Oh yeah, definitely. This is like a drug lord, eco-terrorist ship. There's rusty chains all over the place.
There's everything.
Okay. Well, I'm going to grab one and use it like Tarzan to do like a swinging flying kick.
Nice. Nice. All right, give me give me like a dexterity for that one.
Okay. 13.
All right, a 13 does beat the 12. You swing around. There's the guy with the lead pipe who is on fire. I think that's who you're gonna make your kick to.
You gotta put him out in the water. Here, cool off.
Yeah, I forgot.
So normally you wouldn't be near any windows, but fuck it. If you want to kick him out a window and give him here cool off, yeah, there's a window there.
So I completely forgot to give it a line, but when I tossed the blowtorch, it would have been anyone need a light?
You guys, I mean, Brendan's trying, but you guys got to step up on your one-liner game.
Yeah, one-liners. The new rule is one-liners. I'm gonna give you ultimate dice if I like them.
That's why I got this.
All right. So sure, I'll do the cool off thing.
Okay, yeah. Then there's definitely a window, and you can kick him out. Give me some. I'm gonna say weapon effort because you're kind of using the environment to help you out here.
Okay. Where are you? Get back here, D4. Yeah. That's great. It's a 3.
All right, so with a 3, yeah, you punch him out the window, and we get the Wilhelm scream as he goes to the water. Cool. Next is going to be bad guy's turn. They're going to open the door right into Kip's face. Kip, there's a bad dude with a machine gun coming through. You have the surprise.
Awesome. So, even though I have a gun and I should shoot them, why would any self-respecting 90s on TV think someone shoot someone who actually hit? I'm going to hit them with the gun. I'm going to pistol whip them. If I didn't have the gun, I would have just judo chopped the gun out of their hand, just in case you wanted to know. So yeah, no, I'm doing this. As much as I want to not use strength, I have no reason not to use strength for this.
It's probably strength for this one.
I can't. There's nothing I can do about arguing the rest. Strength is the one I don't have the bonus in.
It's all right. You're just looking for 12.
I rolled 19 on the die. So yeah.
All right. Give me weapon damage.
That's where I'm good at. Oh my god. That's 8. Yeah.
You crack him, and there's like a bone crunchy sound, and he hits the deck. He's conscious, but he's on the deck now.
And stay down. Nice. Anybody else want to try me?
He was the only guard coming through.
Yeah.
But
one-liners don't care about what actually is there.
Yeah. Let's see. Next up is going to be the other guy who lost his machine gun. He's going to get into a karate fight with Christine. There's like a good solid 30 seconds where the two of them exchange blows. They block each other, and
nothing else is going on in the scene. Like literally, people could be chasing us. No, nobody's chasing. Everybody's stopped and waiting for this scene to play out. Yeah,
like it feels unrealistically long. There's steam inside the scene for no apparent reason.
Also, I just want to note, Chris, there's an inconsistency with the filming. The window that the guy fell out is gone.
Yeah, there definitely is. Christine, does a 13 beat your armor?
Yeah. Like, wait, what is my armor? Like, it's just 10.
It's 10 unless you added anything to it.
And it's 12, so yes, it does beat.
Okay. He manages to land a punch on you for 5 points of damage.
Ow.
It's a good thing you have a handy Mountain Dew on hand.
And, yep. And I am going to initiate something because you mentioned there was chains here, and I like the idea that there's a bunch of chains floating around. Somebody's going to get tangled up in chains this turn. Or at least a grapple attempt is going to be made on them from the chains. Kip, does an 11 beat your armor?
Yes.
Nice.
I only have this basic 10 armor.
Like moving through the ship, you deliver your one line, and then like something caused the chains to be like moved around, and one of them comes up and smacks you, and it like kind of tangles you up. It's just going to take you a minute to untangle yourself.
All right.
Which will have to be like your movement for the next turn.
No problem.
Next is going to be Tugboat Sully. Your settling torch is on the floor.
There's also a gun on the floor.
Yes, that is true.
You don't need that.
Oh, and a lead pipe, because he would have not taken that.
That's what you need.
Yeah, he's gonna kick away the gun, pick up the pipe.
Because that's how it always goes.
Nice. Like the gun clatters underneath the decking and falls to the next floor.
Mm-hmm. And as the gun falls off the deck, he's just gonna say, "Eat lead," and hit him with a lead pipe.
This is the one that Christine's fighting. Awesome. Yeah. That's good. Give me strength, and you're rolling ultimate.
Why do I roll for ultimate again?
Just roll extra
make a strength check to beat the target number.
Okay. So 13.
Cool, you beat it. Now you're gonna roll weapon because you're using a lead pipe plus ultimate. So it's a D12 and a D6 plus any bonuses you have.
10.
So you whack this dude on the back of the head, and he just collapses. The smoke kind of clears. The settling torch putters out, and we see all of you as everything clears out. All the people that were captured for the drugs, they ran to the top of the deck. Mitch is trying to get them on the cigar boat to try and get them out.
I look at Tugboat slowly. I could have had him, I say, as I crack open my cool, refreshing Mountain Dew, tipping it back into my mouth, watching it pour in.
Label is clearly pointed towards the camera.
Yes. Yeah,
Refreshing.
Oh man, I wish I had one of those.
Looking around the drug den that you guys are in, you are able to find a few different things. Let me find the chart. There is one guy who is unconscious on the floor. He was the one that got hit with the pistol whip. Because you said you were looking for somebody to interrogate.
Yep. I'll slap him awake because that always works.
Mm-hmm.
I say, "Where's CJ?"
I'll never tell you, red suit.
Torch, just in the background with a smile.
Torture me all you want. Nothing you could do is worse than Mr. Jorgensen.
Who's Mr. Jorgensen?
Mr. Jorgensen's the boss. Whatever Lars Jorgensen says goes. He's done with you red suits and all the people that are destroying this beach.
Destroy? I'm sorry. Are we on the same page? You're the one who's doing kidnappings and drugs and stuff.
We're going to blow up all of Malibu. No one will go to the beach. The green algae will grow undeterred by civilians.
It's you? It's you gunking up my boat?
The green algae needs to live. It's important for the ecosystem.
These madmen need to get taken down.
Look, the only system I care about is the proper system of government. Look, you can't just go around doing anything you want. It's unlawful. It's just gosh darn, it's just not right. Now, where is Lars? And I do that, pointing my gun at him.
Yeah, and after a few scenes of you kind of interrogating him and shaking him, because it's daytime TV, we can't show blood or anything. Which surprisingly, even though there was a bunch of fights and people got shot at, there was no blood in the last scene.
Like I said, I didn't shoot anybody, but when I did, I only shot at someone or not hurting them.
Yeah. He eventually breaks and he tells you where you can find Lars inside the captain's office. He's like, just go down this corridor, the one that he came from.
All right, that sounds good. We'll hand him off to the proper authorities and we'll move on, guys.
Okay.
Good work.
On the other side of the drug den, there's a foot locker. When you open that up, there is a Flak Vest that gives a +2 to armor. There is also a, let's see here. What can I re-describe that as?
I'm going to put on the Flak Vest only because Christine cannot put on the Flak Vest.
It's true.
Because she can't physically fit inside of the Flak Vest.
That is totally the reason.
Exactly.
She's too tall.
There's an item that I'm not going to rescan. I just want you guys to know what it is, and it's part of the game. They're called Heartstones. Essentially, when you pick them up, you get an additional heart for your hit points. And as long as you carry it, essentially, it becomes a permanent thing on your character. So I think the way that we're going to describe it is it's like a piece of jewelry that has like a heart pendant on it or something like that.
All right. Now that one is yours, Christine or Sully.
And lastly, there is a bundle of dynamite in the box.
So we give the dynamite to Christine. She's a dynamite gal.
So how this bundle of dynamite works, it is an item that has a blast quality, which means that it blows up easy enough. What it does 4d12 fire damage to far range.
God damn.
From where it blows up. The item is destroyed. It is not reusable.
Is it like one of those comically looking bundle of dynamites that have like little clock?
Yeah, it's like a miner's bundle of dynamite with like a real long fuse on it.
Yeah.
Could have used this that one time with that great white shark.
You always talk about...
And he looks off into the distance.
Now that that's settled, let's go find Lars. So I'm gonna lead the charge.
Okay.
Also, Tom, you have the heart pendant.
I figured. What's it do again?
Gives you an extra heart of health.
You have 20 hit points. We all have 10.
Which is actually pretty good for the person who's probably going to go melee the boss.
Yeah.
So now you get to roll around in your skimpy red bikini with a heart pendant.
Okay. So we're just going to jump right into the end bit because, you know, that's where it's at,
these shows
yo.
are only half an hour, so.
That's where it's at, yo. So you guys get to Lars's office, bust in. He's in front of the cork board, got his back turned towards you. He's wearing his purple vest of evilness, or his purple suit of evilness.
I'm gonna point my gun at him. Trying to look all intimidating and such in my swim trunks, but swim trunks and my my Hawaiian vest, my Hawaiian button down, but with my chest, of course, shown.
Yep.
And tell him the flak jacket.
Oh yeah, it's under that. And I'm gonna point my gun at him and say, Lars Jorgensen, put your hands up. You're going down.
And Lars like unbuttons his coat and he like shoulders it off. He's wearing a purple vest underneath the coat. And he goes, "Is that so?" Turns around and that's where the fight's going to begin. It's going to actually open up with him charging.
All right.
He is going to charge at you because you have a gun. Rushes forward with unbridled fury.
Perfect, because I was never going to shoot at him.
He rolled a 13. Does that hit?
Yes.
All right, cool.
I only have a 12 armor.
Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. I have his special ability backwards. I need you to make a dex save, actually.
So it's just rolling a d20 plus dex again?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 20. Oof.
All right. I do have to change the DC of the scene. It's actually 14, but 20 does beat it. So yeah, you dodge out of the way, and he kind of swings his arms wide, like he was gonna hit you with his hands collapsed together and do that two-handed hit.
Yeah, the clubbing hit. I get it.
Yeah. And then because you're all kind of bunched up near his door, he's going to take a swing On Christine, since she's the next closest. That is a critical.
Oh dear.
Well, it's a good thing you have all this extra health points.
6 points of damage.
Ow.
As he takes one gorilla fist to your face. And yeah, that's all of his actions for now. Next is going to be Tugboat Sully.
I'm going to take out a wrench out of my bag and hit one of the pipes that runs over Lars's head, knocking it loose and showering him with hot steam.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, give me.
Don't work up too much of a sweat there.
Yeah, give me. Give me like a strength attack or strength attempt rather. I'm going to say easy because you're not actually targeting him. You're targeting the environment. So it's actually going to be an 11 for you.
That's good because I rolled 11.
Cool. So you hit the pipe. Do weapon and ultimate.
Ultimate was a D12, right?
Yeah.
I apparently made a combat monster.
Hey! I think we all.
I mean, to be fair, because I included the rule of one-liners get ultimate die, everybody
it's kind of absurd because I rolled an 11 on the ultimate die, so it's 18.
18.
Oh,
yeah, like the steam blasts him in the face, and he like reels back, covers it, and you can see all these scorch marks on him. And he kind of stumbles back. Kip, he's kind of open for you now.
All right. So what is he like? Tumbling back, like with his hands on his face.
Stumbled back, and he's got his hands in front of his face.
All right. I'm gonna try to spare tackle him into his desk. Trying to use that as the break point. Know, a break point for both of us, but also hurt him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know that's pure strength to me.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm gonna, as I'm charging at him, I'm gonna say, "You might want to rest, buddy. You look hurt." And I rolled a 15.
Okay, with a 15, you are able to beat the target number. So give me weapon.
All right. It's a 7.
All right, with a 7, that brings it to a total of 25. Cool. Yeah, he hits the table and you can hear him groan, but he hasn't like collapsed underneath it. Christine.
Ugh, that didn't let me do.
You could jump kick over me to try to knock him down, finish the knockdown.
Yeah, I was gonna do some kind of rapid stick. Could be
there's no chains in his office.
I was gonna say, or remember, I spare tackled him, so I'm kind of bent over. You could leapfrog over me, like using me as a vaulting to try to, tackle him on the top, like something like that.
Yeah, okay. Like, I'm going to leapfrog off my friend here into a flying roundhouse kick. Thing.
Through the steam.
I've trained little old ladies that hit harder than that. Pow!
Yeah. So, like, you come up and you put your hands on his back and you use that to be your pivot point for your roundhouse. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a strength.
Cool. Oh, fiddlesticks. 5.
Okay. Unfortunately, 5 isn't going to be enough. I think your kick just went a little high. Next up is going to be Lars Jorgensen, who will throw you back off of him. And he is going to just kind of like take his arms and he just starts like swinging like wildly. He's going to try and attack both of you because you're close to him. So if a 15 beats your armor, let me know.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Well, not so cool, but
we're not very defensive.
That's okay. That is let's see here. 7 points of weapon damage to each of you.
Wow, I'm just down.
You had
You
20
have
hit
2 hearts.
points.
You have 20 total.
Oh, 20. Oh, I thought it gave me a +1 hit point. Not.
No.
Mm-mm.
Each
got a
heart
whole
is
heart.
10 hit
Heart
points.
is 10.
Okay. Damn.
Miles and miles of
Yeah,
heart.
like it's a big deal when you find hearts.
All right.
Miles
I'm at 7 still.
I'm at 3.
Yep.
Actually, no, you were at full. You had 20. You took 7
took
plus
6.
6.
So 13. So 7 left.
Lesson here is fight smarter, not harder. I'm at 10.
And then he will reach across his desk. There is a hatchet that's buried in his desk. He grabs it and he throws it at Sully.
Damn it.
He's like, I'm good. Nope.
And he's going to be like, let me ask you a question as he throws it. That is definitely going to hit you because it's a 19 on the die. He's got 22 to hit. And that is for 7 points
Okay.
for Sully. As
Okay.
the axe,
Also
like,
3.
I don't think the blade hits you because, again, we're talking about daytime TV and you're a hero. I think the handle hits you. Like, it just wings you real good. All right, and then next is Sully.
A beautiful modeling career.
Damn it. I can't. It's not enough just to think of what would be a good thing to do. I have to think of a good thing to do while also being cheesy. It's challenging.
Okay, first, this is how I go about it. First, think of something you want to do. Throw it out the window then. Then figure out that there was never a window in the first place. So it bounced off the wall and now it hit him. Bam. Cheesy. Use all your cheesy 90s knowledge.
Just tell me what you want to do. We can workshop it.
No, I can't really think of anything interesting to do with it. Like, all I'm thinking of is tossing it back at him, but that doesn't make too much sense.
You could.
I mean, my line is, thanks, I needed a haircut anyway.
Okay.
Or your line could be, your question didn't really get through to me. Here, try again. You throw it at him.
Good.
Yeah. Let me ask that right back at you, and I'll toss it back to him. Sure.
Okay.
Keep the axe, the simple axe ones back.
Mm-hmm. So I'll do a dexterity, and that's going to be 10.
Okay. With a 10, the axe goes sailing past him. All right. Next is Kip.
Yep. All right, hold on. Just because no one said it, I've got to do this. That hurt, you son of a bitch. And I caught that one bit, the one swear of the entire episode.
Okay.
You can only ever get really one before it's labeled, too much for television.
Did damn it count in the 90s?
No, no, it did not. No, damn, it was perfectly acceptable. You didn't just say bitch. You don't say fuck. You don't say cunt. You say bitch is already just way too much. So I'm using that one swear word.
Yep. Okay.
That hurt, you son of a bitch. And because I never actually let go of my gun.
Yep.
I'm going to try to whack him right where he was hit with the steam.
Okay.
Because We got to knock him out. And he's just one tough son of a bitch.
Yeah. Any strength?
Yeah. That's exactly a 14.
All right, that hits. Give me some weapon damage.
All right. That is 4 damage.
All right. With 4, you whack into him, and he goes down, unconscious on the table. The scene closes with you arresting him, and the Coast Guard is coming to arrest him. They're confiscating and collecting up his terrorist plans and collecting the dynamite, except for the stick that Sully has hidden away in his tool bag.
Well, guys, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a good time for like end of episode banter.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna roll a d4. This is my close of session d4.
This is just on the boat, just sort of sailing into the sunset.
Sunset. Yeah.
Yep. So you guys have 3 turns essentially to do whatever you want. So you're in the boat heading back towards the house. Tugboat Sully.
Did we ever find CJ?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. She never got away. We saved her immediately. She never got kidnapped.
No, she got kidnapped the second time.
She got kidnapped. You guys just caught her at the end because you took care of Lars Jorgensen, aka a reskinned Minotaur.
No wonder he hit like a truck.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that time I was stranded out at sea. Had to fend off a fearsome sea turtle. Lost my hand. He has a hook, by the way.
I'm about to say, please stop.
We're just finding out now.
Yeah. His entire time.
Like it's like according to like the wiki page, he had a prosthetic that like at the beginning of the episode, and now he's got a hook in the other half of the episode.
Because this is the pilot.
Yep.
Obviously, they decided to change it up, because they thought it would be, be a bit more impactful.
Yep.
Well, I'm just glad that it's over. I hope nobody else ruins any of the other events, other competitions that are planned. No matter what, even if they are trying to save the environment, they just need to go about it the right way.
In a way, I pity him. His goals were noble, but his methods were vile and wicked. Malibu Beach has no place for people like that.
Nothing noble about that devil algae. Good riddance.
And then Mitch comes up and puts one shoulder on Christine, symbolically passing the torch to Christine, who is the leader, the Mitch of her own season. The camera fades back and the sun sets over Malibu, and we get the title screen one more time. Baywatch, Malibu sunset. Our closing credits roll by. All right, so that was Index Card RPG with a really weird concept going. Hopefully you guys enjoyed at least the mechanics of it, if not for just the setting. But that's basically what Xiaoyun uses as its backbone. So pretty easy to pick up. It allows us to do a lot more fluid things with it, but still keep a lot of the rules and stuff in place, which is part of the reason why I chose it for the Xiaoyun setting. So when we get to doing stuff like cloud walking and fighting in bamboo trees and shit like that, it all kind of makes sense because we can get away with that.
I do like the idea of the different dice just to determine what you like, how well things are going, how well what you're using. It keeps it very simple. The basic weapon, magic, ultimate. I think that keeps it so you don't have to worry about like, well, is it a weapon? Doing is it a strong weapon or no? It's a weapon.
Yeah,
you're stronger because you're good with weapons.
Well, that was why I was saying to you guys that I didn't have like a knife fighter class built, because anybody can pick up a knife and it's always a weapon die. Unless they have like a magic knife, then it's magic die. Or they have like a really special knife that does ultimate die. But really, instead of knife, it could have been anything.
I feel like ICRPG is people trying to take the idea that is D&D, but trying to make what's it called? Like what's the word? What's the other system? Like Fate out of it, or
It's got some
or Savage Worlds, or the very classless systems.
Yeah, it's got some similarities. Hank, when he wrote the system, he had been playing Dungeon World, which is a little bit more narrative. He also, which is where he got the idea for like scene target numbers. He had also played some Savage Worlds and a few other games, and that's where he got some of the ideas to kind of start going down the path of what it is. Originally, a lot of the mechanics that we're using, he was using them to make D&D 5e go faster and be more fluid because he felt like it was a little stale. And then eventually it kind of got boiled down to this.
I can definitely agree with that. I like the idea of the scene number because the scene number means that the scene number feels like now you don't have to think about whether or not you hit someone with that, that special armor. No, you have a number. You got to hit it. Just that simple.
Yeah, I like it too because it gives players the ability to know when they should narrate if they did the thing or they didn't do the thing.
You don't have to go like, I'm gonna roll dice. I'm gonna have these are all my numbers. Did I do the thing that I wanted to do? Or it's easier when you can just like, I roll it. Oh, I already know I beat the number, so now I can tell them how I did it.
Yeah, you never hear. Did I beat his armor class, or does a 21 hit?
Yeah, It's to me, I really like the way that's done.
Yeah, I use scene DCs pretty often for online games now after playing ICRPG because that part is probably one of my favorites for the system. It's very easy to translate to any game, really.
I will say this: the only thing so far I don't like is the heart system.
Yeah, it's
either use the numbers or use the hearts. Just don't try to quantify a heart as 10 hit points because, like, okay, I took 7 hit points. Do I still have just 1 heart? Is that what it is, or do I have 3 hit points?
You have the heart until you get to 10. The idea is you could tally up 10 points and then cross off a heart, and then tally 10 again, and then cross off a heart. But
to me, it's just such a weird thing. It's one or the other.
Yeah, I'm not completely sold on the idea of hearts. I like them as chunks.
I like the idea of the chunks
for DMs.
Yeah,
because it does make things tracking easier for DMs, but I'm not entirely sold on them being super intuitive for players.
Yeah, no,
it's almost like just a whole hit point number would be good enough.
Yeah, exactly. It's just such a weird thing. Just
like the only way that I could see it being truly beneficial for the players is like, let's say there was a rule that said, if I do less than 10 points, you keep your hearts, which would make you guys really strong because I'd literally have to do like 12 points of damage and then I'd get rid of one of your hearts.
You'd have to always break the number.
It's all or nothing threshold basically, which could be interesting. Like that would be a really cool way to make like a superhero or like like if you were doing like Naruto almost, where like the fights go on long and it's like critical hits really matter. Like I could see the hearts being kind of cool for that sort of effect.
I think the hearts would work better. Like you have your normal hit points, but then I think the hearts would be translate better as something like temporary hit points or something like that, as like a shield.
That's actually pretty cool. Like I would do like hit points as like you know how there's always been the trouble of having non-lethal damage and lethal damage.
Yeah.
You get hit points, so it'd be the non-lethal or how tired you're getting, whereas hearts are you're actually taking things that can kill you.
Yeah, I could see where you're going with that. I don't know. The hearts thing has been the only thing that I've been kind of like.
I'm not against the idea. I just don't like the way it's implemented, and it's very jarring to try to put together how you want
right.
Maybe I need to read the book more to figure out a couple of things to see what if there was a thought process behind it. But it's just to me, it's just such as
it's meant to make tracking easier ultimately.
I'm just going based on the idea that the way you kept on selling to me, what I've heard about ICRPG before you said anything was that it's supposed to be easy translation from D&D to it.
Mhm.
But and everything else was an easy translation except for this, because it's just such a different thing. But it's like they're trying to add their own system mixed in with it, but it doesn't work, and it doesn't. I'm just trying to figure out where the need is for the hearts. Like,
no, I get where you're going with it. It's like I said, the hearts are. I'm not completely sold on them personally either. I've been trying to play with it more. I think I'm leaning more towards like for Xiaoyun just being like, you have hard numbers, and if you get an item, your item adds 10.
Xiaoyun might be a good choice for like what Brendan was saying, where you have non-lethal and lethal damage kind of thing.
Yeah,
because to me that makes perfect sense in a more of an a martial arts setting where some of the fighting styles are going to be more geared towards lethal and non-lethal.
Well, right now it's more of like the way that I'm doing it is it's more like the intent of the fighter. Like if you intend to kill the opponent, you just let me know that that's your intent, and then you roll through combat. If you don't intend to kill him, you just be like, hey, I pull my punch at the last minute, and then that's good enough.
But I was thinking about like this. Think about in this setting, in this way. Me and Brendan are fighting Tom, right?
Right.
Tom's the bad guy. Me and Brendan are the good guys, or maybe we're the bad guys. And Tom's the good guy. Either way, it's 2 against 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to subdue Tom. Brendan's trying to kill Tom. How do you quantify that? Brendan keeps on telling you that he's intending to do lethal damage. I keep on telling you I'm intending to do non-lethal damage.
I mean, the way that I would narrate the whole thing is basically whoever had the last hit is the one that's going to decide if Tom's character lives or dies.
Yeah.
And then because it was kind of a mixed bag of how you guys were handling it, I would narrate like when Brennan does damage, he's like breaking bones, he's cutting skin, that sort of thing. Whereas you're like blunt instrument type of actions.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out where you were going with that. Okay, no problem.
That's kind of where I was thinking about it, because that's one of the things that I do like about how 5th edition handles the idea of like subduing opponents. If you go to the death and dying rules, it specifically says that like your attacks are lethal, but when it comes to knocking someone to 0, you can always say that you knock them out instead of killing them, which most players don't read that part of the book, and they're like, kill all the monsters all the time.
Well, because they're monsters.
Yeah.
But it gives you the option that when you're fighting someone that you're not trying to kill, or you get in a bar fight, you don't want to fucking kill them. You want to.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to knock them out because they're.
I like the simplicity of basically leaving it to the player to be like, I don't kill him, I leave him for unconscious, or I leave him for dead, or whatever.
No problem.
Yeah. But yeah. So that was Index Card RPG with, like I said, a weird setting.
Cool.
All right. For anybody that tuned in and saw, I saw that that Jason Lapel was watching. He actually got to play in a game with me for Xiaoyun last time, so that was pretty cool to see him inside the audience again. For everybody who catches it afterward, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the silliness of Baywatch Malibu Sunset. I don't know if the series got canceled immediately after its pilot, and this is just an unearthed pilot that we saw 10 years ago, or if there's been more episodes lost to time. We'll find out as I get bored and have one-shots, I guess.
Well, we'll see the returning adventures of Kip Kowalski.
We just play completely different characters as they got recast after the pilot.
Like, it's the same character names, but you guys describe them completely different. Like next time, Christine is actually like Hispanic, 5'2", and enjoys skateboarding. Rebranding.
I choose to always play Kip Kowalski because Kip Kowalski is that one guy who can never find another acting job, so he's always stayed with the when they've called upon him for more episodes or something.
All right, cool. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the gaming table.